Hello everyone, I'm Ernie.
And I'm Jonathan.
And Jonathan is my son. And today we are going into that drift mine that we saw the other day when we were on our way to the Sketchy mine. But before we head into this mine, I want to show you some scenes that and some things that Jonathan and I saw on the way to this drift mine. And so let's take a look at that, and then we'll come back to this drift mine.
Let's get it.
As we're out traveling around, we stopped and took a look at a few cuts that were out here, and you can see this cut going back into the ground. We're going to go take a look at it. I don't think there's any mountain lions that could be around here, but you just never know. I have my son Jonathan, who's out there with a 45, and so I think I'll be safe. And let's go take a look at this. You can see that the vein is running down in this direction, and it cuts right down there. It's my son Jonathan. Hello. We're gonna go take a look down inside here and see what this is all about. It's pretty crunchy. Looks like they were chasing this vein right here. And they were getting underneath it here. And it just stops right here. They must not have gotten very much out of here. Jonathan said there's another cut down the hill a bit. Let's go check that out. Here is that cut Jonathan was telling us about, and I thought we were going to be able to get inside of it, but apparently not. But one thing of interest that I want us to notice is right by that tree right there, that's where we were in just a few minutes ago, and apparently there must be some type of a vein running in this direction. Actually, let me back up, because if you go on the other side of that hill, remember Hans Lund's drift mine? Well, it's straight down the hill, if in a straight line from where we're at and where that last cut was, where this cut is. And if we follow this, and as you go down, you can see that they have done some cutting all the way down in this direction. What I would like us to notice right there in the center of the screen is Gold Canyon. We walked down the side of the hill and we came to this drift mine right here. It looks like back in the day they had let a lot of dirt fall in here, and so it has kind of closed up the portal of this mine. I'm gonna try to get down there the best I can and take a picture or take a video. Okay, here we are, and that's what it looks like from this point of view. And for us to be able to see what's inside there, we're just gonna have to dig this out. But that will be on another episode, won't be on this one. I just want to bring to your attention, as you're out hiking around, searching around, is to be on the lookout for parts of foundation or some bolts. As you can see that we stumbled across this one a few minutes ago, and it's concreted in, But as you're out looking around, just keep an eye out for the small things, and then you'll run into the big things. As we're out sightseeing and taking our field trip, that we came upon the miners' dump site. And you can see by how old these cans are by the can opening marks that they use to open these cans. There's hundreds and hundreds of cans out here. Old cans as well as some new cans. And we're back. This is the portal. And they got an air shaft right up here, right above our heads. And there we are. We're going to make our way into this drift mine. We are making our way in here, but I want to show you on the entrance, right in this area here, is where they did some drilling to blast out the rocks to get into this drift mine. Little bird's nest right here. And as you can see, this mine is really dry. The ground is dry. The wall is dry, unlike the Sketchy mine where everything was completely saturated. And I'm wondering if this is the ore that they were chasing. Actually, it looks pretty darn good. It doesn't look pretty stable. Actually, it is. It's pretty solid. Oh, here's some material they must have been chasing. Well, this drift mine goes left and right, but it doesn't look like it goes very far. The ceiling goes about 8 foot high. We got this timber right here holding that piece up. Oh, look at that material inside there. It looks pretty good. It's nice and cool back here. And you can see what they did with the material is that they were digging down there. They were just letting it fall into this hole right here. There must not have been any gold or silver in it for them to leave it the way they did. Because I'm pretty sure that this was not a cave-in at this point. Actually, Actually, I don't know if you remember in my last video, as we were sightseeing on our way to the Sketchy Mine, there was like an air shaft that went up, and there was a piece of pipe that was coming across from it, and I said, you know, that would be nice to dig down into it, and I think that might be the shaft right there. And you can see the vein that they were chasing. Someone had outlined it with a highlighter. Wow, look how big that piece of rock is. It goes back there pretty far. It goes up. I'll turn this light on, see if we get a better shot of it. There's a little bit of timber right there. Yeah, but you can see that shaft right up there, that they used some timbers to close it up. So it looks like it's not even very deep from the top. I'm thinking about maybe 3 feet, no more than that. And there's that vein that they were chasing that they highlighted on the other side. As we have already made a 180. Standing on these unstable rocks isn't the safest thing to do. But yeah, it looks like you can see what they were chasing, because that vein comes right down through there from that mark right there at a 45 degree, and you can see it up along that wall right there. Let's head back and go to the other side. Okay, here we are. We're headed back to that right-hand turn, and apparently the vein that they were chasing is highlighted here, and this is what they were chasing. Some wire hanging down. If anyone knows why they put some wire inside there and they put a wooden wedge in there, please let me know. I'd like to know what it's used for. There was another one at the entrance of this drift mine. Some good looking material, that is for sure. Just wonder if they got any gold or silver out of here. But if I were to dig inside here, at least I know where to dig because they marked it out. And there is the portal. The floor on this drift mine is really rocky. I'm not really watching where I'm walking, as long as there's no air shafts going down the middle of the tunnel. And that's one thing that you should always be aware of, is air shaft that drops down the middle of the walkway inside a drift mine. I've heard of stories where guys didn't have sufficient lighting. They weren't watching where they were going. They weren't staying up along the edge, and they would walk in the middle of the drift mine and fall down the air shaft 100, 200 feet. This is about all there is to this drift mine, but apparently they got enough material out of here to do this much work. And I think what I am going to do once I get out of here, I am going to try to guesstimate where that air shaft that was plugged up with some wood might be at. I'm going back down in that area because I need to find out exactly how this turns. I know it turns right, but from the portal, it's probably about 25-30 feet before it really makes the right hand turn. I need to know that for once I get up on top. So anyhow, we're going to make our way out of this drift mine. This is about it. And I just want to encourage you guys, if you do make it out here, and I know we have some AU families, some subscribers that live in Dayton and Carson City, because you guys reached out to me. And I just want to say, you know, that this is pretty safe. You really don't have to worry about too much inside here. The Sketchy Mine is probably, I think, about 300 yards from here. But this one's pretty safe. It's just rocky. You can see all the rocks on the ground. And if you're not watching your step, it's easy to trip and fall. I almost did that a couple of times. But yeah, I would encourage you to come out here, and if you're coming out from out of town, you know, there's some nice hotels actually in Carson City. Oh, in Carson City, there's some nice hotels, but in Dayton, they have the Dayton State Park where you could pitch a tent or you could bring your RV and stay there. I'm not sure exactly what it costs a night, but gosh, it's a great place to stay. Dayton's a very small town. There's some small casinos with some restaurants in there, and you know, it's very cost effective to stay there for 2 or 3 days and just, you know, spend 2 or 3 days, 4 days out here just sightseeing, doing your homework, and finding a place where you want to go and take your field trip and enjoy your time over here. Let's mosey on out of here. Okay, as we make our way on top of this hill, you can see the air shaft to the portal right down there, and I'm assuming the path that the camera is going in is where the drift mine is, and I'm assuming somewhere around here it begins to turn left. Right here, as you can see, is a shaft, but I don't think that one is it. I mean, it could be, but apparently there is a shaft that goes down here, and who knows where it ends up at. But right now I'm going straight down from what I believe the portal and the mine shaft is going, and I'm thinking right about in this spot where I'm standing is where the drift mine turns left, and it goes about 30 feet, 20-30 feet before it starts turning right. So if that were the case, and I do know, because of the other day, this could be it. And you can see right down here, there is some timber that they used to plug up this hole. And I'm pretty certain that this is the shaft that we saw that was plugged up with wood from underneath or inside of the drift mine. But here is the other shaft that I was talking about. Let me get my shadow out of the way. And this one's got that metal pipe that's going through there, and you can see down in that hole that it drops down inside here. But I don't think this one is it, because it's just too far back. You know, as you can see right there, you can see the fencing. Let me pan in some. Yeah, you can see the fencing by the pole. That is where the portal is. That is where the air shaft is. And then you know, it comes straight, but then it's just, I believe it's just too far back. And so maybe this part here ended up at the end of the drift mine. And anyhow, the only way to find out is to dig it up, and we're not going that far. Here is a foundation to what I believe was a hoist at the time. It was, you know, big enough for a small operation. You could tell by the bolts and the foundation. But basically that was it. You saw inside of the drift mine. Something new that I've learned today. I hope you enjoyed it. And like I said, I hope that you come out and make it out here on your own and enjoy this place. It's just really nice to be able to come out here and think about, you know, what the old timers did back in the day, and, you know, and just enjoy life and experience what it was like out here in the 1800s. Well, that concludes our expedition into this drift mine. We learned something new today, and we finished our field trip for the day as well, and saw some new places where we could go. One drift mine that we'll have to dig out. That one's going to be interesting to go into. And so anyhow, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you did, smash that like button.
Smash it hard.
Smash it real hard. And then let's go ahead and share it, because it's amazing when we share these videos or these episodes. There's people somewhere out in the world who watches them and they enjoy them. So I would encourage you to share this episode to those throughout the world. And also, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please become an AU family member and hit that subscribe button. We love to have you as family, and we hope you enjoyed this episode, and we'll see you on the next one.